Software, also known as computer programs or applications, are sets of instructions that tell a computer what to do. Here's a simplified explanation of how software works. Writing code. Software development begins with writing code, which is a set of instructions written in a programming language. Programmers use programming languages like Python, Java, C+, or JavaScript to write these instructions. The code is written according to the requirements of the software, specifying the desired behavior and functionality. Compilation or interpretation. Depending on the programming language used, the code may need to be compiled or interpreted before it can be executed by the computer. Compilation involves translating the human-readable code into machine-readable instructions, usually in the form of binary code, zeros and ones. Interpretation involves executing the code directly by an interpreter program without prior translation into machine code. Execution. Once the code is compiled or interpreted, the computer can execute the instructions sequentially, following the logic defined in the code. This involves performing various operations, such as calculations, data manipulation, input-output operations, reading from or writing to files, displaying information on the screen, and interacting with hardware devices. Control flow. The flow of execution within a software program is determined by control structures such as loops, conditional statements, if-else statements, and function calls. These control structures dictate how the program responds to different conditions and inputs. Data handling. Software often manipulates and stores data. This can include variables, arrays, objects, databases, or other data structures. Data handling involves tasks such as storing, retrieving, updating, and processing data according to the requirements of the software. Error handling. Software needs to handle errors and exceptions that may occur during execution. This involves detecting errors, providing error messages or feedback to the user, and implementing mechanisms to recover from errors gracefully. User interface, UI. Many software applications have a user interface that allows users to interact with the program. This can include graphical user interfaces, GUIs, with buttons, menus, and other visual elements, or command line interfaces, CLIs, where users interact with the program through text commands. Testing and debugging. Before releasing software to users, developers typically test it to ensure that it works correctly and meets the requirements. Testing involves running the software with different inputs and scenarios to identify and fix bugs, errors, and unexpected behaviors. Deployment and distribution. Once the software is tested and deemed ready for use, it can be deployed and distributed to users. This may involve packaging the software into installable files, uploading it to app stores or distribution platforms, and providing documentation or support for users. In summary, software works by translating human-readable instructions into machine-executable code, which is then executed by the computer to perform desired tasks and provide functionality to users. The development process involves writing, compiling, or interpreting, testing, and deploying the software, ensuring that it meets the needs and expectations of its users.